Hi everyone, it's David. I've recently changed from Nikon to Sony and I thought I'd talk to you all about my experiences with doing it. I had the high-end Nikon, so I was using a D4S, the D810 and the D750, and I had the full range of lenses. Probably 70 to 80% of my work is weddings, the other 20% or so is modelling work. I was finding that the cameras basically were just too heavy to lug around. As I'm getting older, I was finding that I was getting sore shoulders, sore back, so I thought that I'd research other cameras, mirrorless, and I decided to go with the Sony. They were the only full-frame cameras that had a similar type of quality to what I was using. So I did change over. I got multiple different cameras. I bought the A7S because I need the low light. I was finding with receptions, things like that, that even my Nikon cameras were struggling to get enough light. Whereas I've used the A7S now in a couple of weddings and I've been amazed with the way that it works. The focusing actually is really quite good, so as long as you use center point. I also then bought two A7 IIs. My wife is my assistant, so she's using one of those cameras as well. And I've only just recently got the A7R2. I've used this, I haven't used it in a wedding yet, I'm going to be using it this weekend. But I've been amazed at the quality. I've used it in my modelling shoots so far, and I think you'd be amazed at how good they actually are. I'll show you some images at the end of this talk. Couple of things that I've found. The focusing on the A7 IIs is actually quite good. I've found that it's not quite up to where I was with the Nikons, only in low light. In daylight, in good light, it's fine. But to be honest, it's still good enough. The A7R2 is amazing. The actual focusing on that is unbelievable. I've found that that's comparable to what I was using with my high-end Nikon gear. I have to be honest though, I'm not a sport shooter, so if I was doing that, I can't comment on how it would go for sport shooting. But for what I'm doing for weddings, following the bride and groom, no problem at all. I use pro photo gear, and I've found that it works fine. The only thing is that you can't adjust your, it won't work with HSS. So basically, if you're going to try and operate your exposure, you've got to shoot manually. But that's what I used to do anyway. I used to find that the high-speed shutter wasn't working that well on the Nikon anyway. So I just use this. Now I have to use ND filters if I'm going to shoot above 200ths of a second, because I've found that the Sony cameras will sync to the pro photo gear at 200ths of a second. So that's fine. And it fires every time, so it's not like it's unreliable. The other thing that I bought too, so I could do some on-camera flash or off-camera flash, was the Sony flash system. This one is the, I think it's the F60M. There was reports about it overheating, but I haven't found that. I believe there was a new update of firmware that fixed that. I'm using the Photex. This is amazing. So this will give me high-speed sync. I can also control the exposure or the power up and down actually directly from here. It just sits directly on top of your camera. And the flash itself has to go and sit onto one of these receivers. So it would sit just like that. And then my wife or another assistant, or I can have it on a light stand, can be off camera and fire it. Very, very reliable. Amazing, actually. I found that it works terrific. Apparently yesterday they just released that they're going to have uncompressed RAW. To be honest, I haven't had any issues with it. I haven't found that there's a problem, but it's a free update. So I'll certainly be giving it a try when I get it. Over the next coming weeks, I want to talk to you about my experiences. I'm going to start talking about my gear, because I'd like to take you on the journey with me, going from a full Nikon system, transferring over to mirrorless and using a Sony system. I've bought the full range of lenses. Again, though, I'll be talking about that. I'll show my camera gear, so I might do a what's in my bag, and I'll show you the type of gear that I'm using for a wedding shoot and portrait sessions. So apart from that, leave me some questions below if you want to ask me any questions, and please like me and subscribe to my page. I'm going to put a lot up in the next few coming weeks. Until then, talk soon.